I am so glad you are here. It is Energy Sunday in my world, so let's get to it. Did you know not everyone is psychic in the same ways? In fact, this has been such a common concept for so long that there are something called the five clairs. These are five different, very impressive sounding words that all start with the syllable clair. There's clairvoyance. Hear the V and think vision. Clairvoyance is I can see psychically. Clairaudience, think auditory. I'm listening to something for my psychic attunement and ability. Clair, I've got them on a list here in front of me, by the way. Clairsentience, I feel it. I have a gut feeling about something. Who hasn't had that? Claircognizance, it just comes into my head as a thought. And clairalience, which is smell, which is probably the least common. Could you have something that is your psychic ability that is not one of the five classic clairs? Yes, you can. You could be psychic in a way I'm not going to talk about, and good for you. No matter which of these is your strong suit or your unique part of your psychic abilities is your strong suit, they're all valuable gifts. They're all important. They don't make us any more or less special than anyone else. They're just part of who we are. So if you have clairaudience, then you're hearing things, right? So practicing visualization, while it might be great for your brain and a wonderful thing to do for your overall just mental health generally, if you want to get good at being psychic and you hear things, work on hearing things, not seeing things. So if you are going to work on your clairaudience abilities, you want to hear things in other people's voices. You want to encourage yourself to be able to, when you pick up a book, hear it in the author's actual voice if it's been recorded and you can hear it. It helps, by the way, if you know the author. I hate to say it, but it's true. The book that I was able to do that the longest through was The Sun at Night. It was written by Roger Williamson, who happens to be this store's founder. And in the original version of that story, because it was rewritten, by the way, it's been revised and re-released, and it's beautiful. I could hear Roger Williamson's voice telling me the story halfway through the novel. If you can hear different voices doing the different characters in a novel, then work on clairaudience skills by listening for messages, by trying to suss out how things are going for people by listening perhaps to the tone of their voice, listening to the noises, the ambient noises around to help judge the stressfulness of the situation, the welcoming feelings that you might have in a given place at that particular moment. If you are very visual and visual information is easy for you to digest, then you work on your visualization skills. If you work on your visualization skills, you will see things more often. In either case, or in any of these five cases, meditation helps the most, because what you really want to do is quiet down conflicting thoughts or information that's coming at you, so your mind has the ability to focus on the most salient piece of information in front of you, which if you're meditating is what you're meditating on, right? So if you are trying to work on your visualization skills and you think they need work, start with basics. Visualize a circle. Then visualize a dot of energy going around the circle and around the circle. Then add color to what you're watching. Perhaps the circle is green and the energy around and around it is purple, for example. Move on from there to increasingly complex images, color combinations, etc., and your visualization skills will improve. If it's auditory, you're going to practice hearing things and allowing messages to just come to you verbally. Maybe instead it's clairsentience. How does your gut feel? Well, when you're meditating, feel things. Put on a piece of music and attempt to feel it as a physical sensation, so that when that new instrument comes in, you get a specific sensation because of it. Think about how it feels when someone does the row of bells that have different tones in them. You'll hear that sort of shimmery sound sometimes in pop music. It's a different feeling than if somebody just hits a cymbal and lets it go. If that's your approach, if you have a very physical sensation about these things, then practice that and your clairsentience should increase. If it's claircognizance, then it's just you think it, you just know it. That's tougher to practice, but it's not impossible. You ask yourself a question that does not have a yes or no answer, and you allow the full sentence or paragraph to appear in your head in response to your question. Just meditate on the question and see what you get. Clairalience, the smelling, same sensation. And I would use music again to see if you can taste and smell things, because that will enhance those sensations and give you a better chance at finding that clair as your primary clair ability. Wow, so much to talk about with this stuff. I wish I could go on, but I'm way over. So on behalf of myself and the rest of the staff here at Magus Books and Herbs in Minneapolis and online at magusbooks.com, we thank you for being your magical self and doing all the magical things you do every day, including, of course, the little things you get to do here, the likes, the shares, the subscribes, the comments, etc. In the meantime, have a wonderful week and blessed be.